It's one of those cases of save the best for last, unintentionally though, because I have been sleeping on these beautiful guitars. It is a pair of Korina V and an Explorer, and I'm gonna have a hard time opening this case because it's huge, and in it another beautiful guitar. These were way too expensive 2 years ago, so that's why I didn't review them. That's why I'm getting it now. This one is brand new. I got a good deal on the Explorer used. So I am gonna start with the Explorer, tell you all of the specs, explain what the guitar is, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of a comparison in a separate video between the V and the Explorer. But I can already tell you in advance, these are some of the best Epiphones that I have ever owned and tried. As usual, I want to start by going into the Epiphone's official website, and right here we see the new guitar for Joe Bonamassa, the 59 Les Paul Custom. Man, I wish this guitar had the open book headstock like the Inspired by Gibson Custom guitars instead of the Kalamazoo headstock. Maybe I'll get one to review it later on. The Epiphone website has just been redesigned, but luckily we can still find our way around. Here under the Inspired by Gibson collection, we find all sorts of cool guitars, the SG, the 59 Les Paul, the 60 Les Paul Standard, and I think, yeah, here's the Epiphone Les Paul Custom Inspired by Gibson Custom that I've just compared to the actual Gibson Custom. And we can no longer find the Korina Explorer, but the Flying V is still here. The Explorer was still available a couple of weeks ago when I bought the guitar, so I've saved the page. Here it is, the Inspired by Gibson Epiphone 1959 Korina Explorer White Pickguard Aged Natural. And it says here that it's not available and this page is only for reference, which is cool. We can do a price check because the prices of the V and the Korina are the same, so around $1,200 and $300 or €1,150 as you can see. I am gonna scroll to the pictures, and I already noticed that the two pieces of the body are not so well matched as the guitar that I have available, or maybe it's just the pictures look like that. Here is the beautiful case and here's the listing. I am gonna show you the official comparison video, but I'm gonna do it in my next video when I show you the Flying V Korina and compare it to my Explorer. Anyways, even though I'm doing this review 2 years after the release date, I tried these guitars back then when they came out in early 2023. We ordered 2 pairs of V and Explorers for both shops that I used to work in. Honestly, I was not impressed initially. I liked the big cases, I thought the finish was okay, but they were badly set up as usual and the pickups failed to impress me through the Angle Thunder combo I had at work. What did impress me was the price tag. These were one of the first truly expensive guitars that I got from Epiphone, and I mean expensive. On release in Europe the prices were way higher than right now. The initial prices were over $1,700 or about €1,500. That was insane. I used to buy ESP and Gibson USA guitars for that kind of money. And now a made in China Epiphone was worth that. As I said, crazy. I was not surprised that the guitars didn't sell well. Not only they were too expensive, but on top of that, Epiphone were quick to correct their prices a couple of months later, and a lot of shops in Europe got the Korina guitars for as much as $1,200, and the other shops that bought it expensive got stuck with them because they couldn't lower the price. They will lose too much. Eventually, the shops that bought these initial expensive guitars had to succumb to the pressure and lower the prices to about $1,500, but again, it was a hard sell. So these guitars stuck around for about 2 years. I ended up buying a used Explorer and one of the brand new Flying V guitars from the shop at a discount, but still at a higher price than most shops in Europe. I didn't mind because I got to choose one of two Vs that the shop had in stock, and I would always prefer to pay a bit more and see a guitar in person than straight up order online and hope for the best. What I'm trying to say is that the prices stopped me from reviewing the Korina guitars sooner. Now that I bought both of them, I can say that I was missing out. The Korina guitars are two of the best Epiphones that I have ever tried, together with the Greenie, Veil of Bees and the Vino. Not only that, but I think these guitars top the chart. It's not all sunshine and rainbows though. I do have some complaints that I will address later in the video, but overall they're great. And here's something else that makes these guitars so attractive. The price gap between the Epiphone Korina guitars, the V and the Explorer, and the Gibson Korina guitars, the reissues, is huge. We're talking about over $10,000 in difference, and honestly, even though I like the Gibsons, I don't think I will be able to afford them, and I don't think I want to afford them. So I'm good with the Epiphones. And good luck finding an actual 58 Korina Explorer or a V. Like people like Joe Bonamassa, like James Hetfield, Kirk Hammett, and I think Jason Momoa own some of them, but they're crazy expensive. So our best option is the Epiphones. As promised, here's the official listing and the specs. Lightning strikes again with the latest collaboration between Epiphone and the Gibson Custom shop. You can pause and read all that. I'm gonna show you this video when I compare the V to the Explorer. We got aged gloss body finish and sold Korina body material. Of course, that's a mistake on their part. Next specs, we have Laurel fingerboard. This is one of my complaints for this particular guitar. 22 medium jumbo frets, Korina neck. What else do we have here? Glued in long neck tenon, medium jumbo frets, Graphtec, and 58 Explorer body shape. The electronic specs, of course, we have a set of burst booker, 3 burst booker, 2 pickups, switchcraft 3-way switch, switchcraft output jack, CTS pods, so on. For the hardware specs, we have the ABR1 style for the bridge. We have gold top hats. We have Epiphone Deluxe 16-line tuners, all sorts of other stuff. And in the other specs, we have the hard shell case, modern Epiphone logo in Mother of Pearl, and the 1046 string gauge. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford to buy the Explorer brand new because I had to get the Flying V as well, but it's in excellent condition. I see no marks on the body, no marks on the satin headstock, which is hard to achieve. No dings on it. The frets seem to be in good condition. They're a bit oxidized, but I will freshen them up. In fact, the only signs of wear are on the hardware itself. The gold plating on the tailpiece mostly has worn off from the hand. Also, the gold covers for the pickups are slightly worn, which is not a problem for me. I kinda like it. In fact, this guitar is in such a good condition and has so much charm that I'm considering keeping this in my collection if a friend doesn't buy it. I mean, check this out, it still has the protective film on the pickguard. Of course, I'm not a cheapskate, I don't like to keep these on, so I'm gonna take it off right now. So satisfying to do this every time, and the best way to do it is to take off the entire pickguard, which gives me the opportunity to demonstrate it for you. It is a 3-ply, satin black on the bottom side, and it has shielding where the 3-way switch goes. Initially these guitars came with two options, black pickguard and white pickguard. Honestly, I would have preferred a black pickguard, but I've never seen one of these guitars in the wild. It's an easy fix though. If you want a black pickguard you can put it, but you have to keep one thing in mind, you have to swap the plate for the output jack as well with a black one. Pickguard out of the way also allows us to see the cavity for the electronics and the cables, some splinters here from a rough routing job, and this is indeed an L-shaped switchcraft 3-way switch. Pickups out of the way reveal an important spec. You can see the neck pickup cavity and it clearly has a long neck tenon. Some writings in black marker here and some splinters from the routing job, but this is normal because of the neck tenon. I'll cut them some slack about this one because it's harder to do than just a regular tenon that ends over here. Also, this being a long neck tenon reveals something important. Initially I thought this was some sort of Korina veneer to make it look like a one-piece body, but no, the two pieces are actually matched so well it's hard to see the seam line between them. But it is there, you have to look harder. See, it's somewhere right over here and you can trace it to the back of the guitar. So a perfect match. Not all guitars are here, but most of them are so well selected. The bridge pickup cavity has the sticker with the QR code, the serial number and the model designation. Also here we can see the Gavit conductor wire with some sort of housing for it to isolate it. The bridge pickup cable is pretty short, so that's why I'm not moving the pickup itself too much. Here's the neck pickup, the Burzbucker 2. It was made in late 2023, so this is definitely not one of the earliest models. We have the PAF patent apply for sticker here. It's closed, has a slanted black pickup ring. Gold covers for them. They are Aonico 2 pickups, they're pretty soft, they're rock and roll. The Burzbucker 3 in the bridge position. It was made right around the same time, making this a set, has the gold cover as well. A thicker slanted black pickup ring and short screws for the neck, long screws for the bridge pickup ring. For the control scheme we have a neck volume, a bridge volume and a master tone. These are gold top hats, nicely raised above the body, and they have dial pointers. Let's measure those. The bridge Burzbucker 3 is at 839k ohms and this is the volume pot for it, as you can see. Switching over to the neck Burzbucker 2 at 806 and the middle position 412. Bridge and tailpiece. For the bridge we have the ABR1 style with the individual saddles like most lock tones. B2 marked on the bottom side, and unlike the lock tone, this bridge doesn't lock to the studs because it's utilizing the thin studs and the thumb wheel. And unlike an actual ABR1 bridge, these studs can be also adjusted by a flathead screwdriver, as you can probably see, and the thumb wheel as well. So you can adjust it by a thumb wheel, you can also adjust it by a flathead screwdriver. I would not advise you do that, but because you can see that's a pretty thin stud. Also, unlike an actual ABR bridge from that era, it has metal inserts that go into the body. Custom shop ABRs go directly into the wood. And let's weigh the bridge, 49 grams. The tailpiece is pretty heavy, Epiphone marked on the bottom side. It is a lock tone one, it locks and allows you to swap strings pretty easy. So remember, the bridge doesn't stay in place when the strings are moved, but this one does, and it's pretty heavy. I am guessing around, yep, the usual 69. The neck is the only place that I have a problem with this guitar. You know, pickups and pickguard are personal preference and can be swapped, but the pickguard is another matter. You know, using Laurel on an Inspired by Gibson Custom guitar that is supposed to be a collaboration with the custom shop is not serious. You can see that it's quite different to actual rosewood, it has different pores. I mean, it's okay, but why use Laurel on these guitars? It's used on Greenie, it's used on the Hendrix guitar. I mean, this Laurel should be reserved for the Inspired by Gibson guitars, not the Inspired by Gibson Custom. You know, it's absolutely normal to see this on the Inspired by Gibson, the more affordable guitars, but on the custom ones, come on. Epiphone should know better, I'm not sure why they're doing this. Medium jumbo 22 frets, and I'm surprised because I've tried 4 of these guitars, 2 Explorers and 2 Vs. The fretwork seems to be fine, which is not typical for Epiphone guitars. They seem to be in good condition. I've polished them because remember, this is not a brand new guitar, it's just in a good condition. Acrylic side dot inlays, acrylic dot inlays, and we have a Graphtec nut which seems to be cut fine. I like the headstock, I like the tuners, and I like the fact that it's satin finished, almost like the body. It has the Epiphone logo, and Epiphone claimed that this is mother of pearl. The way it reacts to the light, I don't see it, it's a bit dull. I'm gonna call this pearloid. I like the buttons for the Cluson type Epiphone Deluxe tuners. I like the pins. And here's what the truss rod cover looks like. It's 2-ply, it has 3 screws of course, unlike the Gibson ones that have 2 screws. And here are the screws for them. Here's the truss rod cavity. You can see the Korina wood grain and color in here. It has a 2-way truss rod. Another issue that I have with these guitars, this is supposed to be a one-piece neck, but all the way to here, and it's scarf joint with the headstock. I'm gonna show you a bit later. A bang-on 12-inch radius, which is typical for Gibson guitars, and the usual 24.75-inch scale length. Before I move on to the neck dimensions, I want to talk about the finish, which is aged gloss, sort of a satin but has some shine to it, and I can tell you that this is a perfect fit for a Korina guitar. I don't like high gloss on natural wood guitars, it makes them feel plasticky and look them too shiny, but this is a perfect. Now the nut is 43mm wide or 1.69 inch. The 5th fret is at 48mm or 1.88 inch. The 12th fret is at 53.3mm or 2.09 inches. Thickness at the 1st fret 22.6mm or 0.88 inch. Thickness at the 5th fret is 24mm, already getting thick, or almost an inch, this is pretty thick, and a massive 12th fret at 26.5mm and over an inch. This is a replica of a 58 guitar, so it's normal to be that thick, but honestly it doesn't feel like a baseball bat, getting even thicker here. Nice and rounded off shape on the 1st fret, rounded off on the 12th fret as well. Even though this is a chunky neck, honestly doesn't feel uncomfortable on the 12th or especially on the 1st fret, but maybe the entire shape of the guitar compensates for comfort. Body thickness of 39.7mm or 1.56 inch. The distance between the pickup rings is metric 57mm. No dings, no scratches, no roughness on the back of this guitar. You know, Explorer guitars are prone to dings here on the edges, but this one seemed to be kept in perfect condition. And same as the front, you can barely see the seam line between the two pieces of the body. Goes somewhere here. I have to trace it for you to see it. Compliments to the guys at Epiphone who chose these two pieces. I'm looking for a third piece over here, but I cannot seem to find a seam line. The same nice aged gloss finish on the back, making this guitar feel really nice, especially here on the neck as well. And it's not like this has been a case queen. The guy, the previous owner, played this guitar, he was just extra careful with it. And again, there's protective film here on the cover for the electronics. Again, so satisfying to peel these off, and you can see the difference. Here is the back electronics compartment. We have CTS 500K pots, same as used on the Gibsons. We have the Mallory capacitors as well, and it's a really tight fit in here. And here's a piece of advice, check out my Explorer Ebony video. The electronics cavity is a bit wider there. You can fit the 9V battery, you can fit the smaller EMG pots and the motherboard. I don't think you can fit them in here, so this may not be the best guitar for active pickup conversion, or you have to do some modifications before you can fit all of the electronics. And one more thing, the cover for the electronics has shielding, which is neat. Nice and smooth edges on the back of the body. The cover for the output jack is white, 2-ply, and we have the Switchcraft output jack, and we have strap buttons up here and one here. The QC and made in China stickers are removed on this guitar, usually they sit here. I'm gonna show them to you in the V video. Cool serial number 231115, making this a Qingdao Chinese made guitar. A late 2023 guitar at that, the 11th month, as you can see. And the back of the Epiphone Deluxe tuners, these are beautiful on a Korina guitar. And weirdly, I don't see a scarf joint. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems like a one-piece neck, which is mind-blowing. I may be wrong, but I don't see a seam line. I'm gonna set this guitar in E standard with 1046G's GHS boomers, and I'm gonna do the same for the Flying V because I'm gonna compare them in my next video. Of course, I'm gonna do a similar setup for both to be a fair comparison. This is the original hard shell case for the guitar. 1, 2, 3, 4 latches. a leather handle, the Gibson Epiphone Custom logo. We have support here, a latch here, a hinge, sorry, another hinge, and one more over here. It's a bit hard to open because this is a big lid, and as you can see, it's bright pink. My camera cannot properly catch how pink this is, so if you have a fragile masculinity, this may not be the case for you. And it's not a proper fit here, it has bent a little bit because this is some sort of cardboard cover with the lining, but the guitar rattles a bit inside. Here we have the compartment for accessories, a big compartment, the usual Epiphone stickers, the key for it, made in China sticker here. Overall, it's a good case, could be a little bit better, but you can fit a lot of things in here. And it's so pink that the ants started showing up to gather some juice from it, I guess. Here's the bottom side of it. A huge upside for these guitars is the weight. As you can see, this is way over 7 pounds at 648 or 2940 grams. It may be light, but it resonates like a massive guitar. Okay, here's the thing. I'm kind of pissed off. Why? Because the Korina V and the Explorer had the potential to be the best Epiphones I have ever tried and owned. What made them miss the grand prize? Well, okay, first of all, I have no idea why Epiphone insists of putting Laurel boards on their high-class guitars. Greeny, the Hendrix V, the Korina guitars among others. It seems like a weird choice, and it would have been much better if they used rosewood. Second, the pickup choice. I would have really preferred the custom buckers instead of the burst bucker 2 entry combo. I know this is an early iteration of the Inspired by Gibson Custom guitars, but still. Last but not least, that initial hefty price tag put the brakes on a lot of potential buyers, including me. Don't get me wrong, even today these are not cheap, but the good news is that now might be the best time to buy one of them. They started popping on Reverb and other platforms, used and in good condition. They're also available on some of the major websites like Thomann for around $1,200, $1,300, which is a good deal for them. You are getting a lot of guitar for your money. You get the nice hardshell custom shop case, you get a nicely finished guitar, and on top of that, Korina is really lightweight and resonant wood. Both guitars are about 7 pounds each, which is pretty lightweight for such a bulky instrument. Bottom line, if you ever wanted one of these, now might be the best time. Because let's be honest, how many of us will get the chance to buy an actual 58? I don't think so. And the Gibson Korina reissues are kind of out of reach with that over 10,000 grand price tag. So your best bet is this Inspired by Gibson Custom Korina. Oh, and one more thing, you're probably wondering why should I go for the Korina, why shouldn't I just buy the Ebony Explorer, which is almost half the price of the Korina. Well, there are a couple of reasons, of course. They're not the same guitar. This is Inspired by Gibson Custom, it has the nice hard shell case, it has the burst bucker pickups instead of the pro buckers, and it is considerably more lightweight. Also, the finish is pretty different. This is aged gloss, it feels like satin. The Ebony has this high gloss poly finish on it. The Korina is a much better package overall. Keep in mind that it's not that easy to find a hard shell case for an Explorer and on a budget. I have a video for the Ebony Explorer, so check that one out and make a choice for yourself. Stick around because soon I'm gonna show you the Korina V as well.